Hello, and we are going to try and understand how we have actually come to create this quiz game program. Now, as you hover the mouse over this button here, which says Start Quiz, you click on it immediately and you get the beginning of the game open. And as you see, we get question 1 and we have the potential question here. Now this question states here, when does Nadine go swimming? Now what we have done here, we have missed out the question mark, which we were supposed to put in. We can rectify that when we go into the code. Now under here, we have 4 possible answers, and for the answer that we see fit to be the right answer, we click on it. So we click on the radio button, and then once the radio button is highlighted with the selected radio button, we can actually proceed to the following question. So for example, in this case scenario, I chose Wednesday, and then I press answer question. You are working. We get this message box stating you are working. Now I have programmed this message box, this JavaScript message box, to actually state you are working. Now we could actually say this is correct or incorrect by creating a else if statement within JavaScript, which we will see later on. But for now, we will just continue with this, and we have just one command where it says you are working, and then you continue. Now we press OK. Now we get question 2, and as you can see the flow now from question 1 to question 2, we get the second question asked. Now this question states which gas is used to stop fires, and now we have 4 possible answers. Now if you had paid attention to the previous question, you would have noticed that the answer in the previous question did hit the 3rd possible answer. Now by default we have the answer hitting the 4th. So let's change the answer of this question to the 4th and see what happens to our next question when we get 4 possible answers with one selectable radio button already put on. So we will choose here in this case scenario our guessed answer has been argon. Whether it is right or wrong, that is not of any relevance. So we press answer question. Now we get the same message as earlier on when we actually answered question 1, you are working. Now we move to question 3, and we did pay attention in this case scenario, and as you can see the question, what did Wendy bring to school? And we have our 4 possible answers, and already selected we have the 4th answer selectable in the potential answers that can be answerable. Now we will move to the first one, and as you can see from question 3, we should move to the next question. So we press this one, and then we get the same message, and then we move on. So in question 4, as you can see, we have the question again, and we have selectable already the first question as being our selectable answer. Now we have programmed this so that it actually selects a possible answer once we move from one question to another. But if we wanted to program this so that it does actually nullify any subsequent question to be already answerable, we could have done that using additional lines of JavaScript code. So for now, we will just move to the next question. And this is the next question, as you can see. Now, what we are going to do here, we're going to look into the code and see where this actually takes place. So if we go into this file here, global functions, we will see some information. Now, here, if we look at the HTML, we have the HTML section part here, beginning here, and then it ends all the way down to here. And within this HTML page, as you can see, we have a beginning head section here and a ending head section down at the bottom. Now, this script, these two script tags actually reside within the head section of the code. There is no additional content within the body. Now what we could do here in a case scenario, we could have said body here, and as you can see, as I move further down, we could also have a ending body tag, and we could have a text, some text saying here in a h1 tag quiz. Let's make it quiz. So there we go for now, and we press file, save, and we go back to our quiz again, and you can see that it actually messes up the program. So we take this back out once more, and we go back again by pressing save, and then we should be able to get back to our quiz game quite comfortably. Let's see what happens once we try to get back to our quiz game. Yes, we can get back to our quiz game here, and as you can see, this text here, it says you have a total of 20 questions. If we go back again, can we find this text here? You have a total of 20 questions. It is not here within this area, but let us try and find out why. If we go back once more and we put this information in, and then we do this once more, what do we find? We get this message. Do we get this message once more? Let's see. You have a total of 20 questions. Yes, we get now. You have a total of 20 questions. Start the quiz, and we get you have a total of 20 questions, and it does not really make any difference whether we put this line of code in or not. So in this case, I would prefer not to put this information in. A few more things that I want to mention about this part of the quiz. I will go back once more, and I will launch the quiz game. As you can see, start quiz. I will click on this button once more, and we begin the quiz once more. If we start again, we begin the quiz once more with a different randomly selectable question. So here we have just begun the quiz game, and we have the question, what is a nocturnal animal? Now if we go back again, presuming that we have only just started the quiz game, or we are about to begin to start the quiz game, and I press start quiz, now we get a completely randomly different question. Now we could get the same question again based on random choice, but that is only by chance. So we have the question, when does Nadine go swimming? So if we try it once more, see whether we get the same question once more. We may get it, and this can only happen randomly. So let's see. No, we did not get it in this case, but there is a possibility of 1 in so many chance of getting the same question once more. Now, if we look at our question here and our possible answers, it does start with nothing selectable within the random buttons. So we will go here and look where our questions and answers are actually stored within this global functions.html page. And now we find that they are stored within this file here, global functions. So within the head section of the page, the head section of the HTML page, we have script language JavaScript. So all the code is coded within JavaScript. Now we have a variable by the name of questions, and it equals new array. And then we also have another variable with answers, and it equals also new array. And then we have a variable, we have called it questions asked, and a variable number of questions asked equals 0, and a variable number of questions correct equals to 0. Variable current Q number equals -1. And now, if you look at the flow of the questions here, you will notice that there is a pattern with regards to each question and 4 possible answers. And then at the end, we have the assigned programmable answer. So here we have question 0, new array. This is the main part of the variable. And then we have the question. Now our main question is here. Who are the teachers at the Arabic school? And now these, from here, from 1 all the way to 5, these are our 5 possible answers. Now we could have 5 possible answers, or we could have 4 possible answers, or even 3 or 2. It depends on how we program each question and how we actually assign the number of answers to each question. Now, the most important part of this question-based answer quiz scenario is this part here. We have answer 0 equals C. So in our case here, we have C as the definite answer. So answer is C. So in this case, we have 1 will be A, 2 will be B, and 3 will be C. 3 will be C. If we look at our next one here, if we look at this one here, if we look at this one here, what language do Yemen speak? Or the people of Yemen, what is their primary spoken language? Is it Russian, French, Arabic, or Urdu? Now, if we read these alphabetically rather than numerically, 1, 2, 3, 4, we see 1 as A, 2 as B, and 3 as C. And here is our answer C. So this gives you a better idea of how we program our questions and our answers. So we continue the flow of this type of pattern where we have question and answer. And if you also look at the numbers here, we have number 16 here as opposed to above number 15 and number 17. And then the numbers continue. Now, the other good thing about this is that we can also include text in a right to left language, as well as from a left to right language. So we could have 4 possible answers. One possible answer could be in Arabic, another possible answer could be in Hebrew, and our questions could be in any Latin spoken left to right language, English, French, German, and whatever language else. Now, the other important part of the quiz is this functionality. This functionality, as you can see, is another important part. And if we break this highlighted code down into a better understanding, you will notice that it is made from assigning different functions. We have a function here which is reset quiz, and this reset quiz function does operations within these curly braces. We will go into more detail about what this actually means in a future video. And this one here, as you can see, is a totally different function. So from this function reset quiz, then we move into this function which is answer correct. And then we have other assigned commands and operations within these functions. Get question here is another function. So we have 3 functions so far. And then we have else and switch statements here. If you can see here, we have rounding mathematical calculations here that give you answers to the questions you got right and the questions that did happen to be wrong once the quiz had been completed. one last thing, and I would like to thank you very much